Also for Frenship, number 11, Brandon Camarubio. Also for the Tigers, number 21, Hudson Hayes. Bobcats win the toss. They will receive to open up our ball game.
It's been exactly 250 days since the last high school football game was played in the state of Texas last December in Arlington. Tonight we welcome you into Shotwell Stadium in Abilene for opening night of the 2025 Texas high school football season as the Wolfforth Frenship Tigers take on the Byron Nelson Bobcats. Hello everyone, welcome into the broadcast booth here on Dave Campbell's, whether you're watching us on TexanLive.com or on YouTube. I'm Gavin Moritz and we've got a special one for y'all tonight. As joining me to my left, Dave Campbell's high school writer Carter Yates, along with our director of recruiting, Greg Powers. Guys, we got a special one for you tonight. Big broadcast booth, big game. Carter, we'll start with you. This is a game that last year was 48-46 to open up 2024. Byron Nelson winning that one narrowly. And what are you expecting here tonight as here comes Byron Nelson?
Well, if this year's game is anything like last year's, we're in for one real treat tonight. Wolfforth Frenship was the #1 passing offense in Class 6A last year with 2 1,000-yard receivers, and they returned one of them in Chase Campbell with 1,497 yards and 18 touchdowns. But we'll have a new quarterback, we see, after their quarterback from last year, Holden Phillips, goes to Texas Tech. And that Byron Nelson team last year, this is a program that is sneaky, one of the better ones in DFW over the past decade. Last year, they go 8-3. Their 3 losses: Southlake Carroll in Week 5, Euless Trinity, and then the eventual state champion, North Crowley. I'm expecting a really good game here, but who handles better the travel that both these teams had to do? We're out in Abilene, which is about halfway between Wolfforth Frenship and Byron Nelson. Who handles the travel? Who handles the Week 1 jitters? That'll determine who wins this game.
We also have 2 new quarterbacks here starting tonight as compared to the end of last year for both these 2 Texas high school football programs. Speaking of quarterbacks, we'll go now to Greg Powers. We'll get you in here on some recruiting action. We'll start with the signal callers in our Panini America quarterback matchup. Let's start with Parker Almanza.
Big-time quarterback here for Byron Nelson, who's transitioned from a tight end / wide receiver to go under center tonight after a very productive junior year that saw him get Power 4 level offers. He had over 750 receiving yards last year, so you can expect a guy who can definitely move the ball on the ground, and I think that will give Byron Nelson a completely different dynamic than what we've seen in recent years past. And on the other sideline, Frenship, you have a quarterback in Quade Ferris who comes in from Bushland, very highly acclaimed. I got to tell you what, guys, he passed the eyeball test on the sidelines. He really stuck out, seemed to be very comfortable with his teammates, and I know he's a guy who likes to press the action, so I'm excited to see what he does in this high or fast-paced, offense for this squad tonight.
As we welcome you back in here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Again, whether you're watching us on TexanLive.com or YouTube, tonight we got a good one for you guys here. If you're watching at home, if you did not make the trip to Abilene, Let's talk a little bit about these two teams last year, guys. Two teams, obviously, that are no strangers to success in their respective districts. We'll start with Wolfforth Frenship. They went 10-2 last year, like Carter mentioned, 5-0, first atop their district. Like they said, their lone losses were in the season opener to Byron Nelson, 48-46, an arrow defeat there against the Bobcats. The area round to eventual 6A D2 runner-up South Lake Carroll, with their playoff win coming in the by-district round before that against El Paso Montwood, 77-21. So, Carter, between those two losses last year for Wolfforth Frenship, there we go, 10 wins.
Mm-hmm. And they did it off the back of a really strong passing game. And I think that's the biggest question you have tonight for Wolfforth Frenship is who emerges as that second receiver next to Chase Campbell. And I think I'm going to watch for Hayden Wilson, a slot wide receiver last year who had 506 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's been 3 straight years they've had 2 guys over 1,000 yards. Who is that second wide receiver tonight?
Well, it'll be interesting to see who can shut those guys down, Carter, because Muhammadu Sibi is out for this game. You know, a highly touted recruit that's going to be on the defensive side of the ball for Byron Nelson isn't going to get the opportunity to take on Chase Campbell. I know he's lamenting over that fact, but will that be to Frenship's advantage? I'm going to have to guess it's a firm yes.
It's a huge loss for Byron Nelson. We'll see how they handle it.
Here's the return for Byron Nelson, stumbling across the 30-yard line, going down there on the return for the Bobcats. That is Owen Church, the senior, and we're underway, as is the 2025 Texas high school football season here in Abilene. 11:57 to play in the first quarter, and out comes the Bobcat offense. And guys, like we said, this is kind of a new-look offense for Byron Nelson. They have Parker Almanza slated to start at quarterback. He's a Baylor Bears commit at tight end.
And Zach Woodward, the interim head coach right now for Byron Nelson, said that Parker actually was a quarterback on the freshman team 4 years ago, but has been an awesome tight end for them, a Baylor commit. We'll see how he handles a new role on varsity.
1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. First play from scrimmage for Byron Nelson. In the shotgun is Parker Almanza. He looks to throw, dumps it off near side. Pass is caught in the flat. Frank McCong trucks his way across the 40-yard line. Mark him down there, the senior McCong, with a gain of about 8 to bring up second down and short.
I know we mentioned off the top that Almanza is playing a quarterback position for the first time in his varsity career. He does have quarterback experience, so, I mean, he looked pretty comfortable right there.
That he did. Trips up top as here, standing on the near hash in the shotgun is Almanza. He's going to hand it off again to McCong. Ball on the ground! And we'll see who's got it as McCong trying to fall back on top of it. A couple of Tiger defenders crashed in, trying to scoop up the loose football. But Frank McCong able to fall back on top of it for only a loss of a yard, maybe 2, back to the 39.
A pivotal third down here on this first drive for Byron Nelson. You want to get that new quarterback comfortable in the offense and into a rhythm in this game.
It's going to bring up now a 3rd down and 3 from their own 39-yard line for Byron Nelson. Almanza pumps. He's going to roll far side. Almanza trucks his way near the line to gain. He's going to have a first down as the Bobcats move the sticks to bring up a fresh set of downs here as Parker Almanza, the 3-star tight end turned quarterback for the season for the Bobcats. Powers, he came in as the number 6 tight end in the state of Texas in the class of 2026. Looks comfortable, like you said, though, already in the shotgun.
Yeah, you don't see any jitters out there. He doesn't look like he's nervous, and I think that's important.
5 wide now by himself in the gun is Almanza. Almanza fires far side. That's caught across midfield, out of bounds to the 49. On the reception there goes Gavin Tracer, the junior, out of the slot.
And I love the play calls that Byron Nelson is giving Almanza right now. First was a halfback swing pass, and this was a quick out to the wide receiver. Throws that aren't deep shots yet, just getting him in a nice rhythm, getting that confidence up.
10:26 to play, opening quarter. Clock stopped after Tracer stepped out of bounds to the Wolfforth Frenship 49. A late handoff, stumbling in the backfield and getting brought down back to the midfield stripe is Cooper Kennemer, the senior.
That was Jack Pollard in there, and I've seen him now have his nose around the football 3 times since the start of this game. Something that we might get used to if he's this active on the defensive side of the ball. We might be calling his name a few times.
Well, Coach Jay Northcutt said the strength of their team is definitely the defensive line and linebackers, and they're getting after it so far. A near fumble on the second play of the game, and now we see a tackle right at the line of scrimmage. This Wolfforth Frenship team known for passing the ball, but they play some tough defense too.
Down under 9:50 to play, quarter number 1. Parker Almanza ready for the second down, or the 3rd down and 4 snap, rather, that is. Fires, middle, incomplete, as getting hit from the backside, trying to make the throw that was, or trying to make the catch for the throw that was a little bit behind him was Gavin Tracer.
And Hudson Page has been all in the backfield on this first drive. He's one of the biggest playmakers on this Wolfforth Frenship defense, a guy who is getting a lot of college looks right now. You could see why with him coming off the edge there.
I love what you said about the defensive front here because I think that's going to be the storyline for this game. Can the Frenship defensive line, which is pretty big, match up favorably against this Nelson offensive line, which is equally impressive from the eyeball test?
9:39 to go, opening quarter. 4th down and 4 from midfield as Byron Nelson set to go for it. Little trickery here. Ball's on the ground, scooped up, trying to pick up the first down. They're going to come up a couple yards short. It's a turnover on downs forced by the Frenship defense.
And it looked like that was Hudson Page again, and then number 16, Colton Christie. Beautiful job not falling for the eye candy Byron Nelson was trying to sell. Wolfforth Frenship stays home, gets a huge turnover on downs here to give their offense momentum.
Out of the gates, we were praising the offense and how smooth it looked on the first few plays. 2 out of the last 3 plays, there were a little bit of hiccups there, so they did hit a road bump. But I would say that that's a positive start, I would think, for Byron Nelson out of the gates. The offense didn't look shaky, even though they didn't score.
And so that brings out the Wolfforth Frenship offense, starting 1st and 10 from their own 48. 9:31 to go, opening quarter. No scores. Here comes the senior, Quade Ferris. Ferris will hand it off on the first play from scrimmage for the Tigers, and extending forward to the 49 goes the senior running back, Braden Dunkerson.
Keep your eye on the bottom of that screen. Number 7, Chase Campbell, lined up in the shadows right down here. It got a tough matchup with number 20, who's going to be having to step in for Sibby to try to slow him down some.
As we'll watch the Chase Campbell versus Rodney Weatherspoon matchup in the secondary there for Byron Nelson. Near side, it's caught. Here's Chase Campbell, first catch of the night. And Chase Campbell upended down inside the Byron Nelson 45. Mark him down to the 44.
So Chase Campbell, when he was an 8th grader, was offered as an athlete by Joey McGuire's staff at Texas Tech. He started his career as a quarterback and then went to wide receiver because Wolfforth Frenship had 2 Division I quarterbacks ahead of him. Kind of a reverse Parker Almanza. And you see that athleticism there.
Now a 3rd down and 2 for Frenship from the Byron Nelson 44. Man in motion is Gilliam. Near side, caught. Trucking forward to the first down, just shy of the 40. With the first down for Wolfforth Frenship. And they're going to move the sticks there, courtesy of Braden Dunkerson.
Hey, Quade Ferris is out of the gate strong too.
Another new quarterback in this game on the other side for Wolfforth Frenship as here's Ferris. Far side, man is wide open. That's a catch. And wrapped up down to the 33-yard line. On the reception goes Hayden Wilson, the senior wide receiver.
Do you see how many guys from Wolfforth Frenship have already touched the ball? Last year it was Chase Campbell with 1,400 yards. Leighton Stone, who's now graduated, had 1,400 yards and 29 touchdowns. They spread it out.
Now it's going to be a 2nd down and 2 from the 33. Here's Ferris. All day, Ferris fires down the far side, off the right hand, and incomplete of Hayden Wilson, who tried to hit him again down that far sideline, just beyond the reach from Ferris.
Beautiful coverage from Logan Cortez there. No breathing room for that wide receiver to make a play on the ball. Perfectly covered.
And so they go up the far sideline to Hayden Wilson. It's incomplete off the right hand of Quade Ferris on the throw. And now it's a 3rd down and 2 here for the Tigers. A couple inches inside the 35 of Byron Nelson. Ferris fires, caught. That's going to be a first down to the 25 as there goes Zayden McClure, the junior.
They've got a deep wide receiver core because Maddox Archibald, number 88, and Isaiah Gilliam, number 9, in the pregame. They both looked really strong, so they're going 5 deep out here at wide receiver, and Ferris is using all of his weapons.
Yeah, I know a big question going into this game was how was Quade Ferris going to handle coming up from 3A Bushland to 6A Wolfforth Frenship? And I know we're not even through the first drive, but he looks confident in these first few throws.
And we mentioned that Quade Ferris, guys, a transfer from 3A Bushland, had 2,800 passing yards and 38 touchdowns as a junior. Also played basketball, baseball, and ran track at Bushland. And now we're going to have, looks like Chase Campbell's going to come in and line up in the shotgun at quarterback after a penalty backed him up to a 3rd and 7.
What did I say about him playing quarterback before, guys?
He has that experience, Carter. That's why you've done your homework.
Out of the shotgun, Chase Campbell fires far side. That's incomplete. Intended target Zayden McClure. And now it's going to bring up a 4th down and 7, and we'll see here what Jay Northcutt and the offensive coordinator for Wolfforth Frenship, Chris Finelli, draw up.
Just weren't on the same page there. Wide receiver was going in, the ball went out. They just never could sync up.
And with a 4th and 7 pending from the 38-yard line of Byron Nelson here for the Tiger offense, our officials discussing something near the line of scrimmage. Top of your screen, a discussion being had with Jay Northcutt from our head referee here tonight from our officiating crew. Jay Northcutt in his 26th season, the 9th as the head coach of Wolfforth Frenship, a graduate of West Texas A&M.
And I know that we weren't expecting a big crowd tonight because it's a Thursday night game, 6 p.m., but both crowds really showed out. You got to love it from both these programs. Going out to support the kids, 6 p.m. on a Thursday night. I mean, they got to go to something called school tomorrow, so that's why they had to play this game a little bit early so they could get back in time.
Kids are going to be rewarded, though, for being studious this week because Labor Day next week.
Always good to have a Monday off. We'll take advantage of that one as well. 7:41 to play first quarter, and going for it here, or seemingly so, on 4th and 7, are Quade Ferris and the rest of the Tiger offense, and now a timeout's going to be called.
Well, it looks like there that Jay Northcutt tried to call a timeout because the clock was winding down, but the official said he's going to bump up the play clock. So it looks like Wolfforth Frenship won't have to burn a timeout there. That could be huge later on.
And that gives Quade Ferris here in the Frenship offense a little bit more time to think about what they're about to do or try to do on 4th and 7. Man in motion is Hayden Wilson. Here's Ferris, 4th down and 7. Ferris steps up, throws, juggled and caught. It's a 1st down inside the 25, down to the 22. Goes Zaid McClure, the junior wide receiver.
What an athletic play from Quade Ferris there. Moving up in the pocket, doing a little jump pass. That's how you see he's a multi-sport athlete.
They're going to hurry up to the line here as Ferris goes middle, threading the needle down to the 15-yard line. Again, it's McClure.
Interested to see what the flag is here, but while we're waiting to see, that was his most impressive pass. He changed his arm slot. He had to be able to make something happen there, and he did. I really love that throw from Ferris.
On the play, the result of the play is the 15-yard line.
Officials here still discussing what we've got with 7:14 to play in the first.
Well, that's been a couple of big-time catches there from Zaid McClure, the junior wide receiver. Had that 4th down catch and then just had that one right there with the face mask tacked on. It's going to set up Wolfforth Frenship in goal-to-go situation.
It'll be 1st and goal here for Wolfforth Frenship, trying to strike first here in Abilene. 7-10 and trickling down to play in the first. As he motions Chase Campbell a little bit more inside, does the quarterback Quade Ferris. 1st and goal from the 7. Ferris hit as he throws. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Arm was well in the direction of going forward. And it's going to bring up 2nd and goal here.
Well, it looked like Will Myers, number 12, and then number 42, Fine Valahi, combined to rush Quade Ferris and had him get that ball off before he wanted to. Really like what I see out of Valahi so far. He is a sophomore with offers from Baylor, SMU, and Texas State. He was a private school transfer who joined the team after Christmas break, so he went through a full spring and summer with them.
6:57 to play in the opener. 2nd goal and goal from the 7 as here's Chase Campbell lined up at quarterback. Campbell, quarterback draw. Chase Campbell trucking forward. He's going to be brought down near the 2, maybe even the 1. And a little bit of a wildcat play there from Chase Campbell, although maybe not so much as he has quarterback experience.
Well, I like how his first play, even though it wasn't a completed pass, they had him just throw a straight drop back so the Byron Nelson defense can't just key in on the run every time he goes in at quarterback. When he is at quarterback, he can't throw the ball, and they had Byron Nelson know that with that first play, but then obviously a really great running threat too.
Could be the only time he throws it for the next 3 weeks. That could be what they're showing on tape, Carter, you think?
Maybe.
3rd and goal from the 3. Ferris fires a little bit behind Chase Campbell along the back line of the end zone.
You hit us with that coach speak right there before that last play. I love it.
Talk to enough coaches, you start learning to speak like them.
And so now 6:16 to go in the first, and decision time, and it looks like the decision is already made for Jay Northcutt over on the Frenship sideline. 4th and goal from the 3, and no hesitation here.
Is this going to be the third 4th down attempt? I love it. Let's start off the Texas high school football season like this.
Chase Campbell in the slot down low to the left of Quade Ferris on 4th and goal from the 3. Ferris fires too high for Chase Campbell this time. It's a turnover on downs, and Byron Nelson will take over pinned inside their own 3-yard line.
When you see Campbell a little bit frustrated because he and Ferris failed to connect on 2 passes down there in goal-to-go situation. Ferris, a really solid opening drive, just could not connect to cap it off with a touchdown. We'll monitor how that connection develops over the course of the game. It's week 1 for everybody, but it's especially week 1 for Wolfforth, Frenship, and Quade Ferris because he hasn't played any games yet with Chase Campbell.
And Chase Campbell cooked that DB. He was wide open, and that's why he's going to Texas Tech. But credit to the defensive line for Byron Nelson because they got Ferris off timing a little bit throughout the end of that drive.
And so as Parker Almanza and the Byron Nelson offense backed up inside their own 3, little to no margin for error here on 1st down. Smart play as Almanza rolls near side, cuts it up, and trucks his way near the 7 for a gain of 3, maybe 4. As we're down under 6 minutes to play here in the first, halfway home here in the opening quarter, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 5 for the Bobcats. Five wide here for Parker Almanza. Almanza now looks to throw from his own 8. Heaves it near side. Jump ball is caught across the 30-yard line. What a throw and what a catch from Colin Janice.
That is a beautiful back shoulder play. Great ball from Parker Almanza. Amazing catch by Janice.
That's a 1st down and plenty more to the 30-yard line. Make it the 30, all the way up to the 33, actually. Almanza dumps it near side, a little bit behind his running back, but it's caught anyways, and up to the 40-yard line on the reception goes Gavin Tracer.
Powers, you know who Parker Almanza reminds me of at quarterback? Maybe a little Jared Wiley from Temple back in the day, a future tight end in college, but played quarterback for Temple. You see Parker Almanza having the same skill set here.
That's a good call out right there, Carter. I like that comparison. I was thinking a little bit of Blake Bell whenever I saw him, and whenever I was thinking, you know what, if there's 4 yards to go, just let Almanza work, just let him get downhill.
Dodging a couple of defenders there for a 1st down before he's leveled just near midfield is Owen Church, the senior, for Byron Nelson. 4:55 to go in the first. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Here's Parker Almanza rolling far side, and he's going to be stonewalled but gets out of it, and now somehow gets his way up to midfield. They'll mark him down there. They'll say his knee was down at the midfield stripe for a gain of a yard.
But his athleticism let him make something out of nothing right there. He got a yard. He should have been tackled in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. And that's the type of guy you have under center now. He's going to Baylor, and that's the type of skill set he has.
A play that looked dead from the start. Instead, Almanza gains a yard to bring up 2nd down and 9. Almanza this time hands it off. It's going to be Frank McCong to the far side. And McCong will gain another yard. And so a couple of yard gains there for Byron Nelson to bring up a long 3rd down and 8.
I'll tell you what, Noah Lopez put an absolute hit stick on the running back right there for Wolfforth Frenship.
Under 4 we go here in the first. As the play call comes in from the Byron Nelson sideline, it's going to be the offensive coordinator Hunter Hughes along with Zach Woodward dialing up the plays. Hughes also serves as the quarterback's coach here for Parker Almanza and company. 3rd down and 8. From the Wolfforth Frenship 49, Parker Almanza dumps it off near side. Backwards a little bit, caught nonetheless, as Tracer will make his way down to the 43, still about 2 yards shy, the line to gain. And guys, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think there's going to be any hesitation here once again.
This is the 4th time we've had a 4th down attempt to start off the Texas high school football season. This wasn't the first game of the Texas high school football season because we had a game start at 5 p.m. today, but this has to be the 2nd game started. Either way, two of the first teams playing of the 2025 season. Let's get it started like this.
4th and 2 from the Frenship 43. As Almanza will check the play call at the line of scrimmage as he barks out further orders to his offensive line. 2:50 to go, quarter one, 4th down and 2. Almanza searching for a first down. He's not going to have it. He actually loses several yards back across the 46-yard line. A host of Tigers there to wrap him up to force the turnover on downs.
And Brandon Lucero, the nose tackle, absolutely blew that play up. He was the defensive lineman of the year for the team last year, and you see why. Huge play on 4th down to give his team the ball around midfield. That is a momentum shifter right there.
Yeah, he just made a little simple move, cut into the inside underneath of the offensive lineman, and it was just green grass for him to get to the ball carrier. Held him up just enough for number 20 right there, Jack Pollard, to come in and clean things up and put a nice bow on a cap for the defense right there to get the ball back for its offense.
And as this game here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live is sponsored by Body Armor, more than a sports drink. With 2:41 to go in the first, back out comes Quade Ferris. And this Frenship Tiger offense starting from their own 46. Ferris flips it behind himself to Chase Campbell, who makes a couple fancy moves. And Chase Campbell now looking for a block from Ferris, doesn't get it, and he's wrapped up back to the 39-yard line, a loss of 7.
And that is an excellent tackle by Rodney Weatherspoon, the cornerback. We highlighted him as a key matchup on Campbell with Sibby out today. Makes a tackle in the backfield, and if he doesn't make that play, Powers, Campbell's still running.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he's got some offers. You know, he's got some schools that have stepped to him already. I believe that he's got an offer from Montana State, maybe Missouri State, schools like that. So there are programs after him. But Fine Vailahi, I mean, credit to him, too, for blowing that initial play up.
Under 2 we go here in the first. 2nd down and 17. Chase Campbell now looks to throw. He fires. It's caught. It's Hayden Wilson, who makes his way across midfield down to the 49 to bring up now a 3rd down and a much more manageable 5 yards to go.
This is such an interesting strategy from Coach Jay Northcutt, and you're not going to hear anyone up here question what he's doing because his offenses have led the state in passing the past couple of years. But having Campbell and Ferris kind of trade off and both of them throwing passes, you don't see it very often.
I'm stamping him after that throw. That was a pretty good throw.
Chase Campbell now lined up in the trips formation down to the bottom of your screen here. And now he's sent in motion by Quade Ferris on 3rd and 5. Ferris instead goes far side. That's caught near the line to gain. Spinning forward on 3rd and 5 for a gain of 6. Goes McClure.
Not sure I love the soft coverage right there. The wide receiver was just able to run right at the sticks. The coverage a little bit too soft. They couldn't adjust, and it was an easy first down.
Snap was a little bit low from Hudson Bilbrey. Recovering was Quade Ferris to fire to Zayden McClure for the first down on a gain of 6.
Did you mention that Ferris was a baseball player too? Because he looked like he was scooping up a ground ball there. Really athletic at the quarterback spot.
You'll notice him wearing that brace on his left leg, which may cut down on his athleticism some, but I agree with you. I think he's a guy who can keep plays alive.
They hand it off here straight away, and running up the gut is Braden Dunkerson for a gain of 7 to the 36 as we're down to 30 seconds to play here in the first. As Matthew Stuckey made the tackle there out of his Mike linebacker spot for the Bobcat defense.
And I tell you what, maybe that snap's a little low, but Hudson Bilbrey's doing some work there in the middle of that Wolfforth Frenship offensive line, paving the way for Dunkerson right there. He's been nails in the center of the line.
Doesn't look like Frenship will run another play. We've played one, no score here at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. 0-0 as we head to the second here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live.
Dave Campbell's Texan Live's Athlete of the Month, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, shines a spotlight on one outstanding female and one exceptional male athlete each month who exemplify excellence on and off the field. This prestigious recognition celebrates student athletes who demonstrate remarkable athletic performance, unwavering dedication to their teams, and a commitment to their communities. Congratulations to our December winners, Cy Springs power forward Ayla McDowell and Silsby point guard Peyton Jones. To nominate your student athlete, scan the QR code on screen or visit texasfootball.com/athlete of the month. With support from Dick's Sporting Goods, we are proud to honor these young leaders who inspire their peers and represent the best of Texas high school sports.
Back here from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. No score through 12 minutes. We open up quarter number 2 here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Gavin Moritz alongside Carter Yates, Greg Powers. Guys, we've seen a couple of good drives put together. No points to show out of it, but we've seen both teams, if nothing else, play very aggressive so far, especially on fourth down.
Well, it's a bend but don't break strategy from both defenses. Yes, the offenses have moved the ball, but when it really counts and you need a play, both defenses have stepped up.
Fellas, we're on track for 72 passes in this game. So the offenses, I think, as this game goes along, is just going to get more and more wide open.
As we open up quarter number 2, 2nd down and 3 for Frenship from the Byron Nelson 36. Ferris is hit from behind. Ball is out. Byron Nelson thinks they have it, and it looks like they do.
Jason Fadol, what a blitz from the second level. Knocks the ball out of Quade Ferris's hands and gets a huge play for the Byron Nelson defense. Those guys are swarming to the ball.
And so a fumble loss there for Quade Ferris. Got absolutely smacked near the 40-yard line. Ball pops out. Byron Nelson recovers as another drive for the Tiger offense stalls out, this one via turnover.
But now the question is, can the offense take advantage of the momentum? They've put together a few solid drives that have petered out with fourth down stops. Can they get some points on the board and break this scoreless knot?
11:55 to go here in quarter number 2 as back out comes Parker Almanza. From his own 40, Almanza looks to throw, dumps it off quickly. It's caught. Roaming up the near sideline and leveled across the 45 to the 46 was Cooper Kennemer, but a great hit laid down in the secondary for Frenship.
That was Noah Lopez. He is a 3-year starter at Mike linebacker. He was the defensive newcomer of the year last season, and you see why there with a hit stick.
Senior laid down a great knock on Cooper Kennemer. And now it's 2nd down and 4 here for the Bobcats. They hand it off again to Cooper Kennemer. And this time, nothing doing. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 3rd down.
That was Gunnar Edwards. I had my eye on him coming into the game. He's about 6'5", 240 pounds. He's a pretty good-looking junior in the class of 2027. Somebody to maybe keep note of as he continues to make strides and get better game by game. Could he land on some college programs' radars?
And Wolfforth Frenship has turned out a lot of Division I talent in the past few years.
5 wide here on 3rd down and 4 from the 46 for Almanza. Almanza heaves it far side. Receiver is brought down from behind. Flags fly in from every direction. An easy call there as he was looking for Janice.
And Janice, that's twice now that he has beaten the cornerback on one of those back shoulder fade routes you see. He caught it earlier in the first quarter. There he draws a pass interference, and Byron Nelson will take it. 15 yards, move the chains.
It was an interesting spot on the field, too. I was wondering how he's going to adjust to that ball because where he was going to have to go up and make that catch, turn back into the sun, it was going to be a tough catch for him to make. And that's kind of why I noted Chase Campbell being over here in the shadows to open up drive number 1. Because now he's going the other way when he goes up for a jump ball. He won't have to be looking back into that sun.
After a ball that landed out of bounds on the far sideline and a 15-yard pass interference penalty against Frenship. Here, 1st down for Byron Nelson from the 39. Handoff, Kennemer. And Cooper Kennemer makes his way down to the 37, a pickup of 2.
That looked like number 20, Jack Pollard, was in on the play with Noah Lopez. Noah Lopez is flying to the football in the first half. The senior is playing inspired football.
Exactly what you want out of your 2-year starter at middle linebacker. 10:15 to play, quarter 2. 5 wide here, 2nd down and 8 for Parker Almanza. Near side, caught Cooper Kennemer. And Kennemer lost the football. It's out at the 35. Kennemer's slow to get up, and Wolfforth Frenship has it.
Well, you see as Kennemer is fighting for extra yards, stumbling and bumbling forward. That ball gets a little loose, and Wolfforth Frenship is able to lay a hit on it. That's why you do Turnover Tuesday in your practice. Go strip that ball. Hey, your offense lost the ball their last drive. Go make a play and reward them.
And as we get the replay here in our booth, Cooper Kennemer tried to stumble forward, and he just took a shoulder right to the football.
Jackson Thomas,
the senior safety.
Great hit by Jackson Thomas there. That's now multiple fumbles from Byron Nelson that we've seen. Only one of them has been recovered by Frenship. But something to monitor in this game, can they stop putting the ball on the ground? I know it's week 1, and I know everyone's a little bit rusty, but that could come back to bite them.
Lining up at quarterback here on 1st and 10 from their own 35 is Chase Campbell, the future Red Raider. And Campbell leveled across the 40 to the 41, a pickup of 6.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do we have scoreless into the second quarter on our bingo card coming into this game? Because I did not.
Absolutely not. Last year's game was 48 to 46, an absolute barn burner. And look, both offenses have moved the ball very well, but they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot near the goal line or the red zone.
And now after a gain of 6 on the quarterback keeper by Campbell, he goes back to his original spot as they hand it off here straight away across midfield. It's a first down for Wolfforth Frenship, courtesy of Dunkerson.
And Dunkerson with the emphatic first down point. I love that attitude out of the running back.
9:20 to play here in quarter number 2. It's going to bring up a first down and 10 from just across midfield here for the Tigers.
And you haven't really seen either team go into the hurry up. Yes, they're not huddling, but they're not really hurrying up with their offensive tempo.
1st and 10 from the 49. Here is Quade Ferris evading the pressure, dumps it off. That's incomplete, intended for Dunkerson, and I don't think Wolfforth Frenship liked that one very much at all.
And I think a reason they couldn't be going as much tempo is because it is super hot down there on the field, about 90 degrees at kickoff. Powers, you were down there. What did it feel like?
105. Really felt like 105.
That AstroTurf.
Yeah.
After the incompletion, 2nd and 10. Here is Ferris rolling near side. Throws out a stiff arm, touches nobody, and Quade Ferris is out of bounds near the 45.
The shadows do continue to creep out onto that field a little bit more, and you know we're approaching dusk maybe in about an hour, but half the field is now covered in shadows or thereabouts.
Ferris actually did a good job to gain 3 yards on that play because he was about 8 yards in the backfield when he first pump faked.
And now brings up a 3rd down and 7 from the Byron Nelson, 46. Here's Ferris. Has time, heaves it down the near sideline. Jump ball is caught. They say he's out of bounds. Zayden McClure with a great high point on the football, but no feet landed in bounds for Zayden McClure.
Smart throw there. That was a free play. Flags came out before he threw it. It looked like Byron Nelson jumped offside, so I really like the play call there.
Well, it looked like Byron Nelson jumped off sides. I don't know if they gave it to him, though. I think Ferris thought he had a free play, and I thought he had a free play as well, but it looks like they didn't give it to him.
Tricked me.
And now it looks like for the first time in this ball game, it'll be a punting formation for either team, as set to boot it away is going to be Landon Epperson for the Tigers.
And that is a huge no call.
No doubt about it, because it influenced the play, right? Like he probably thought there was a flag on the field, so he threw it to the guy that was running deep, and that's what you're coached to do.
Mm-hmm.
And now Wolfforth Frenship here is going to take a delay of game penalty, and I don't hate it. I think you back up Epperson a little bit, give him a little bit more room to punt. We see this a lot in the higher levels, college, the NFL. They take the delay of game, back him up 5 yards, give him a little bit more breathing room to try to pin Byron Nelson back.
Yep, big brain coaching play. Love it from Wolfforth Frenship.
Bit of a high snap to Epperson. He hauls it in nonetheless. The punt is going to hop out of bounds at the 39. A very short punt by Epperson.
So once again, really great starting field position for Byron Nelson. You know, these last couple of drives, I've loved how Parker Almanza is placing the football on the halfback swing passes. We saw early in the game, some of the running backs were having to stop their momentum a bit to wait for the ball, or it was a little bit behind them. These last few throws, he is leading them down the field where they are catching a full head of steam as they catch the ball.
And the problem with that for Frenship's defense is that when they start to cover that swing pass, that's going to be what opens it up for Almanza to take it to the middle of the field. So they're going to continue to call that play until Frenship defends it.
Exactly 8.5 to play in quarter number 2 as Parker Almanza takes over from his own 41, along with the rest of the Bobcat offense. Handoff bouncing right side here is Frank McCong, who's got a burst of speed. McCong's got a first down into Frenship territory to the 44. What a run from the senior McCong.
And that was one of the first times we saw McCong get to break loose and get past that first level of the vaunted front 7. He's got some burst.
Yeah, he outran the safety to the edge.
Almanza dumps it. That one a little bit too far out in front, perhaps maybe a little bit too quick for Brody Pride, the junior. A little bit of a swing route, maybe a bubble route to the far side. And I think he threw it a little bit before Pride was ready for it.
Well, Randon Cavarubio was right on that play. So even if he had caught it and not fallen down, Cavarubio was right there. He'd sniffed it out.
It might have been a pick if they let the play fully develop. He had to push it out a little bit quicker.
Down we go to 7:45 here in half number 1. Still no score in Abilene. Byron Nelson, 2nd down and 12 here from the Frenship 46. Almanza by himself again. Parker Almanza will take off. He's got a block. Parker Almanza down inside the 30. Needed 12, got about 16, maybe 17 to the 29, and a first down for Byron Nelson.
I tell you what, that's where he's so dangerous with a full head of steam. No one wants to step in front of this guy.
They're going to hurry up here. Up-tempo offense for the Bobcats. Almanza now looks to throw. Middle, caught. Shifty here is the receiver Braden Wathen, who's down to the 19-yard line, close to another line to gain. They give it to him.
Love the tempo play there. The slot wide receiver was wide open coming across the middle. Almanza fed him the ball. Perfect execution.
So Wathen gets in on the action, down into the red zone. Go the Bobcats. And a stoppage in play here pre-snap. Timeout is called by Coach Northcutt over on the Frenship sideline.
I love the timeout from Frenship coach Northcutt there. Starting to get some momentum on the Byron Nelson offense. They're picking up the tempo. They're ripping off chunk plays. Just slow it down. Get to talk to your defense a little bit. And then go out and play the next play.
You know, Coach Northcutt's a veteran. You know, he's been coaching here at Wolfforth Frenship for 9 seasons. Been coaching Texas high school football for a long time. Kind of the kind of calls I expect from him.
And here is both offenses trying to wake up, try to find some points. This game on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, speaking of waking up, is brought to you by Community-Owned Community Coffee, a proud partner of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Save 15% on their great tasting, high-quality blends with code, all caps, Texas Football, all one word, at communitycoffee.com. Try Community Coffee today. We have 6:54 to play here in the second quarter. And guys, Byron Nelson just trying to punch it in, trying to find some points here a yard into the red zone. And as you remember, their last trip into the red zone stalled out.
First and 10 from the 19-yard line.
Or at least their last trip into Wolfforth Frenship territory, and neither offense so far able to find quite the perfect rhythm, at least enough to score. Under 7 minutes, Almanza out of the shotgun following the Frenship timeout. Almanza rolls far side, stumbling down inside the 15. And we'll call it a gain of 4, maybe 5 for Parker Almanza.
On the stop, Gunnar Edwards. Mark Newton.
Almanza looking comfortable at the signal caller spot for the Bobcats here, facing a 2nd down and 6. Almanza rolling far side, and he trucks his way down inside the 12, a gain of 3, and a 3rd down and a couple coming up for Byron Nelson.
Well, Almanza is one big, strong man. That is a guy that no defense wants to see with a full head of steam running off the edge. But you know what? He can throw the ball, too, very well. I've been very impressed with him so far this game.
And you'd think with a guy transitioning from tight end to quarterback that he'd look more comfortable running the football, and maybe he does, but like you said, he looks extremely comfortable throwing it here when they ask him to. And call it a 3rd and 4 from the 13. Almanza throws now, and it's incomplete inside the 5. Flags fly in as he was looking inside the 5 for Braden Wathen.
Yeah, a little bit too much contact right there. He was kind of hanging all over him. That's why you saw the flags come out.
And that's a great read by Almanza, too. That's a run-pass option. He can give the ball off to McCong to run a sweep on the edge. Instead, he pulls it and throws the slant and gets another pass interference. I believe that's 2 on this drive.
Yeah, that's the 2nd pass interference call in this drive. And it looks like they have a solid playbook for Almanza. They're dialing into a lot of the same plays, making sure that he gets comfortable with throwing some of these routes and understanding the concepts of the offense. This is by far their most efficient drive, but they have been helped out by a couple of big penalties.
Well, Coach Woodward said that Parker Almanza has the exact temperament and leadership you would want out of your quarterback. He's been leading like a quarterback his entire varsity career, even though he's been playing tight end.
First and goal now from the 4 following the penalty. In the shotgun, Almanza, he throws, goal line fade is intercepted and then dropped off the hands of a Frenship defender. That's Crashaw Davis, the senior corner, who had it, bobbled it, and the pass ultimately falls incomplete.
If you're a college coach and you're thinking about recruiting Nolan Hawkins, go ahead and look at this play right here. Never gave up on the play, knocked the ball out of the wide receiver's hands at the last second to prevent a turnover. That is the epitome of hustle by a wide receiver right there. I love to see that from a wideout.
Sometimes a wideout's got to be a cornerback.
They go with a little bit of a brotherly shove here, it looks like, under center as flags fly into the snap of the football.
And it was beautifully played by Davis, and he had that interception. If Hawkins gives up on that play and gives it to him, Wolfforth Frenship has the ball at the 20 right now.
Yeah, that could be one of those sneaky moments, like that could be the play of the game. If Nelson cashes it in right here, gets points, credit to Hawkins.
And Hawkins only a sophomore, but he'll play both ways for Byron Nelson. And Coach Zach Woodward told us before the game that they've known about Hawkins since he was a third grader at youth camp. They've always known he's been the real deal.
And following a false start penalty, it backs Byron Nelson here up to a 2nd and goal from the 9. Almanza, jet sweep. Frank McCong turns the corner, and he's brought down near the 1. It'll bring up 3rd and goal here from inside the 2 at least.
That is an awesome block on the perimeter by number 8, Brody Pride. Totally pinned his defender so McCong can run off his butt. And McCong showing a lot of burst on this drive. I love what I'm seeing out of the running back.
They run the jet motion to McCong. He picks up 8. We'll call it 7 now. It'll be 3rd and goal here from the 2 for the Bobcats. Under center they go. They go straight away, trying to extend forward, close to the end zone. And they're going to stay down near the 1.
To the 1-yard line.
Just under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. You got the ball first. 1-yard line. You've got Parker Almanza under center. I think I know the play call. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see.
They do it again. Parker Almanza is in for the Byron Nelson touchdown. Our first points here in Abilene of the Texas high school football season. It's 6-0, Bobcats.
You know what's coming. You know how to defend it, but you can't stop it.
And so in a goal-to-go situation, they go with the tush push with Parker Almanza, maybe more of a quarterback sneak maybe. They go with it 3 times, and finally it works.
You're that close, you got somebody 6'3", 6'4" under center, just let him lean over the goal line.
Line up here for the PAT. That one a little bit low, but it's knocked through by Oliver Bell, the senior. It's 7-0 Byron Nelson, as we have our first points of the evening at Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. 7-0 Bobcats, 4:40 to go, quarter 2. We're back in a moment.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need. So you can get in, get out, and get back out there. Like fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
And so as we welcome you back in here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, it is 7-0 Byron Nelson. After a quarterback sneak, courtesy of Parker Almanza, gets the Bobcats on the board first. And the kick is up and away. The ensuing kickoff from Oliver Bell. Kickoff will hop into the end zone for a touchback. Out will come the Wolfforth Frenship offense. And for the first time tonight, for either side, Now comes the offense trailing.
4:40 left in the second quarter. There's no time. There's a lot of time. You don't have to rush anything. Just play your offense, run your 4-minute drill.
Carter Yates has 4 minutes to operate. He's the quarterback right now. Are you calling your own number for a run, Carter?
I'm calling my number for a quick pass to get the confidence back up. I think there was just a fumble, and while that wasn't Quade Ferris's fault per se, he got totally hit on a sack. I just want to get that confidence back up and going.
There you have it, the analysis from former Frisco High standout quarterback Carter Yates.
As here goes Chase Campbell on a little bit of a screen pass from Ferris, and Chase Campbell on the quick throw from Quade Ferris that Carter Yates just talked about. It's a first down and plenty more.
And I love that. Get a screen pass out to your best athlete, Chase Campbell, let him go to work.
They get Chase Campbell involved right off the bat here to start the new drive. Down 7, 4:15 to go in the second, and the Frenship Tigers on the move to their own 37-yard line. Ferris, low snap. Fires, caught, and lit up immediately. A short gain, maybe half a yard for Braden Dunkerson.
Well defended by Rodney Weatherspoon right there. And he's feeling it right now. I love to see some animation from my defenders. And after laying that tackle down, he's feeling good about himself.
A player down now on the field, 3:47 to go, half number 1, 7-0 Byron Nelson when we return.
Find somebody do it like me. Ow!
Yo, these KDs are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
You fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
And so as we're back here from the officials' timeout here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, and an injured defensive back down for the Byron Nelson defense. We will hope everything is all right with Rodney Weatherspoon. 3:43 and ticking down now to play here in the second. And it's going to be a 2nd down and 9 here for Frenship. They stretch it far side. This is Hayden Wilson, who cuts forward to the 43-yard line. A pickup of about 5 to bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 4.
And they ran right where Weatherspoon would have been.
That time they lined up Chase Campbell out of the quarterback spot again. They hand it off to Hayden Wilson, the senior wide receiver. And 3rd down now becomes a little bit more manageable at 4 yards or so to go.
Guys, this is a huge 3rd down for Frenship right here. Need to keep up with Byron Nelson's offense.
Down to 3 minutes we go out of the shotgun. Back at quarterback, Quade Ferris. Ferris has plenty of time. He fires. That's going to be tipped and intercepted by Byron Nelson. That's Colt Pride, the senior. And Colt Pride comes up with the INT, 2:49 to play in the first half.
Well, Colt Pride used to be a wide receiver before he switched to Will. He is a senior captain for this team. You see the wide receiver hands, tips the ball in the air with one hand, then catches it. That is a massive play for this Byron Nelson defense.
And so Colt Pride comes up with the interception for the Bobcat defense. 2:49 to play in the first half. And Byron Nelson, the offense for the Bobcats, gets it back here with a massive opportunity to try to go up 2 scores.
This would be huge for Byron Nelson if they could go up 2 scores before halftime, because Wolfforth Frenship gets the ball to start the second.
Almanza takes over from his own 48. along with the rest of the Byron Nelson offense. Almanza, first down, dumped off. It's caught to the near side across the midfield stripe inside the 47-yard line. On the reception goes Hill, the junior.
2 minutes and 30 seconds and counting and ticking. Not time where you need to rush, but time where you should be aware of the clock.
Yeah, worst case scenario, you walk into the locker room with a 7-0 lead.
Showing blitz is the Frenship defense. Almanza hands it off to McCavion Hill, who trucks forward to the 44-yard line, a gain of 3, maybe 4, to bring up a third down and short.
You don't want to have a turnover here. That ball was moving right there. Number 11 was almost able to pull it out there at the very end of that play. So ball security is something that if you're a Byron Nelson fan that you want to note right here. You don't want that ball on the ground. You don't want to throw a pick. Like I said, worst case scenario, you walk into the locker room up 7.
And we've seen a couple of fumbles and near fumbles from Byron Nelson, and the Wolfforth Frenship coaches were holding up signs that said, think turnover, so you know they're punching for the ball right now.
And so here with 2 minutes to play in the first half, the 2-minute warning is here. Third down and 1 coming up here for the Byron Nelson offense. And guys, they have 3 timeouts to work with, up 7. The recipe here seems pretty simple. I would think short gains, try to score, don't leave Frenship enough time to try to even get on the board here. Seems pretty simple to me.
Powers hit the nail on the head. Just no turnovers right here. Worst case scenario, go into the halftime locker room with a 7-0 lead. You're in a great spot right now. Just don't have a self-inflicted mistake.
As this game here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live is brought to you by Elite Source Evaluators, the source for evaluating top athletes. Identifying, ranking, projecting top high school players, and providing insight and exposure to help them stand out in the recruiting process. So back from the 2-minute timeout, here comes the Byron Nelson offense. It'll be Parker Almanza and company with a third down and 1 from the Frenship 43-yard line. Safety playing way back for the Frenship defense. Almanza takes a shot, middle of the field. It's caught anyways. Looked like Frenship was expecting a deep shot. It doesn't matter as the ball is caught by Nolan Hawkins.
That's his reward.
Beautiful. Yes, reward. Like earlier we saw Nolan Hawkins deflect what would have been an interception in the end zone. Then he gets his reward with a beautifully layered football by Parker Almanza.
Down we go to a minute 40. First and 10 incoming for Byron Nelson from the Frenship 23. Fake it. Here goes Parker Almanza rumbling near side. Almanza stays on his feet, trucking his way down inside the 6. His helmet comes off at the end. It'll bring up a first and goal to go.
You're not bringing Parker Almanza down with one defender. You have to gang tackle him, and he will keep rumbling and stumbling near the end zone until you have to rip his helmet off to get him down.
And Almanza now is going to have to come out for a play because his helmet came off, so that'll bring in the reserve quarterback, Charlie Medrano.
If you love football and you love the evolution of an offensive game plan, this is what we're seeing executed in the second quarter by Byron Nelson. They started out with the simple plays, and now they're slowly expanding the playbook.
Medrano hands it off. It's McCavion Hill. Reverses his field. McCavion Hill will walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Byron Nelson. 13-0 Bobcats with a minute 21 to play in the first half.
That was great patience from McCavion Hill. He stays back behind the line of scrimmage. There's nothing going on the left side. Shows the patience, darts off to the right side, gets into the end zone. Love the vision from him.
Yeah, McCavion Hill had nowhere to go off left tackle. He reverses his field, goes to the right side, and walks in. And Byron Nelson now on the cusp of a 14-0 lead. And as Oliver Bell pushes the extra point, it's no good. 13-0, the score will remain in favor of the Bobcats. A minute 21 to go, half number 1. We're back after these messages.
Introducing Elite Source Evaluators, your source for evaluating top athletes. We identify, rank, and project top high school players and provide insight and exposure that helps players stand out in the recruiting process. Get ready for the 2026 ESE Gridiron Showcase. This invite-only event brings together the top high school football talent from across Texas, giving them an opportunity to go head-to-head with the best, showcase their skills, and get recognized by colleges around the country. The road to the next level starts here.
I still remember Mom leaving work early to bring me to all my football games. Long before the Friday night lights, the road to the end zone starts right here. And behind every touchdown is a mom, making sure her players get there on time. At Garage Door Doctor, we've had mom's backs for over 38 years. From simple repairs to upgrades, Garage Door Doctor keeps moms and players in the game.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more.
After the rushing touchdown to make it 13-0, Byron Nelson from McCavion Hill, the junior. The Bobcats sit with a 2-score lead, 1:21 to go in half number 1, and a Wolfforth Frenship ready for the ensuing kickoff. That one takes a hop back into the end zone from about the 2-yard line. It's a touchback, and the guys out will come the Tiger offense. Trying to put something together, they now trail 2 possessions.
We got 1:20 left, enough time to go down and get some points. Maybe it's a touchdown, maybe it's a field goal, but you need some points. And look, if they get a touchdown here, it's 13-7, and they get the ball back to start the second half. This game is not out of reach, especially when you can throw the ball like Frenship's offense can.
Chase Campbell's the guy that I'm looking for right here, but they've got a lot of playmakers. So if he's used as a diversion, I'm fine with that. Just try to get some points on the board before you go into half.
So 1:21 to work with here for the Frenship offense. Quade Ferris, Chase Campbell, the Texas Tech commit, come back out with 2 timeouts to work with. And they started throwing 25 with the 1st and 10. They motion Isaiah Gilliam from the top of your screen. Ferris taking a shot. He's got Chase Campbell, who makes the catch inside the 40.
That's a beautiful catch from Chase Campbell. In traffic, the safety is coming over the top to take his head off. It's incredible toughness from Campbell, exposing the midsection to high point the ball.
Best throw by Ferris of the game by far. He put it right on Chase Campbell where his playmaker could high point the football and make a play inbounds.
1st and 10 now from the 39-yard line. Firing, caught. Chase Campbell hops, stays back in bounds, and he's finally leveled near the 32 with a gain of about 6, so back-to-back receptions there for the future Red Raider.
Well, Byron Nelson coach Zach Woodward told us before the game that if Chase Campbell, he wasn't playing against him, he'd love to watch him. I think you're seeing why now.
64 seconds to go in the half. Clock is stopped as Campbell was ushered out of bounds. And now it's going to be 2nd down, and they call it about 5 here. Firing, caught. It's Chase Campbell, 3rd consecutive play with a reception. This one results in a 1st down inside the 25.
They've gone about 50 yards in 20 seconds, all with Chase Campbell. That's the type of difference maker he is.
The tackle was made by Colt Pride, who had the interception earlier. Timeout is called on the field. 58 seconds to go in this 1st half. As this game on Dave Campbell's Texan Live is presented to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Games shape futures. Bus rides build bonds. Coaches change character. At Dick's Sporting Goods, we believe that sports have the power to change lives, and we're proud to partner with Dave Campbell's and its mission to get athletes in the game. Gear up for your next season today in store or at Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's. And so we said that Wolfforth Frenship needed to move the ball, probably get something going here, at least try to cut this deficit in half, per se, to go into the locker room. And Carter, like you alluded to before the timeout, they've gone 50-plus yards in about 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah, this passing offense has been one of the best in Texas for the past couple years, and they're doing it with different quarterbacks. Hud Hutchison now at Kansas State, Holden Phillips at Texas Tech. And part of the reason they can do this is because Jay Northcutt at Wolfforth Frenship uses Oculus VR headsets to work through spring practice and train his quarterbacks, because the past few quarterbacks have been big-time baseball players, but after practice they can come, put that headset on, and do practice virtually. That's what makes these guys so talented on the field on Friday nights.
I loved hearing the story about how the coaches wear the VR and go through the plays with them. I bet that's a lot of fun.
Welcome to the future.
First and 10 here from the 24 of Byron Nelson. Chase Campbell stands in at quarterback. Campbell pulls it. Here goes Chase Campbell. Cuts to the outside, and he will hop out of bounds, wisely so, to the 15 of the Bobcats.
Well, we've seen Campbell throw the ball, and he can throw the rock, but that was a design quarterback draw all the way, and great job by Campbell getting out of bounds to preserve the clock.
Chase Campbell's touched the football on every play of this drive.
Down we go to 51 seconds into the red zone. Go the Tigers. Second down and a yard from the Byron Nelson 15 as Ferris is back in at QB. Ferris fires. Campbell reels it in. That's a touchdown for Chase Campbell.
Wow.
A signature drive for the future Red Raider capped off with the catch of the game thus far.
And the catch of the season, the young Texas high school football season.
That could be the catch of the year, and we may have caught the action in game one. Unbelievable.
Chase Campbell, the 2026 Texas Tech pledge. What a catch.
Guys, I didn't want to date myself coming into this game, but this is my 20th season covering high school football, and I got to tell you, that's one of the best catches I've ever seen.
And so Frenship does cut the deficit in half. They convert on the PAT. It's 13-7. On a signature Chase Campbell drive, he touched the ball on every single play, capped off with a 15-yard touchdown, and what a catch it was. 50 seconds to play, half number one. We're back after this.
I still remember Mom leaving work early to bring me to all my football games. Long before the Friday night lights, the road to the end zone starts right here. And behind every touchdown is a mom, making sure her players get there on time. At Garage Door Doctor, we've had mom's backs for over 38 years. From simple repairs to upgrades, Garage Door Doctor keeps moms and players in the game.
When it comes to garage doors, no one knows more than the doctor. Garage Door Doctor.
At Higginbotham, we put people first. So we simply start by listening to you. Whether you're searching for customized insurance, HR, or financial solutions to protect your home, car, health, business, or employees, our specialists are here to serve you, the people you care about, and your success. Higginbotham. Insurance, HR, and financial services. Inspired by you.
And as we're back here from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene, we were kind of waiting for Chase Campbell to take over like he did on that last drive. I believe it was 6 plays, and of course he touched the rock on every single play of the drive, capped off with a 15-yard acrobatic touchdown catch. Makes it 13-7.
You got to think that 2-minute drill settles Ferris in too, right? You know, get the nerves out. Knows that he has a playmaker like Chase Campbell that he can turn to. I think we're setting up some second half fireworks here.
And that's a really good point, Powers, because yes, that was a signature drive from Chase Campbell, but also Quade Ferris had a couple beautiful throws in there.
Yeah, and Quade Ferris on that touchdown pass to Chase Campbell, perfectly placed. I mean, Campbell had to do a little bit of a circus routine to bring it in with that one hand along that far side of the end zone, but it was a perfectly placed ball from the quarterback, the senior Quade Ferris.
And now if you're Byron Nelson, 46 seconds left. You don't want to turn the ball over here, but you can also try to go for some points, especially because Wolfforth Frenship gets the ball to start the second half, and you're only up 13-7.
Most importantly here, they have 3 timeouts to work with, 46 seconds starting from the 42. Pass is dumped off. It's caught. And here goes Cooper Kennemer into Frenship territory down to the 47-yard line.
That's the play you're looking for. Now you can get into tempo. Here they go. They're going to be able to throw the ball right here again. That was the perfect play call on first down.
Down we go to 30 seconds. Byron Nelson has Parker Almanza waiting on the snap, and now he looks to throw. Almanza airs it out downfield. It is juggled and incomplete inside the 10. Looking for Nolan Hawkins with 22 seconds now to play.
Krishawn Davis has had some excellent coverage on Hawkins. Yes, Hawkins has had a couple big plays, but Davis has won some of those matchups as well. A battle that we'll be watching into the second half.
And so now we go down to 22 seconds here to play in this first half. And if you're Byron Nelson, you have to go 47 yards at least to get in the end zone, that is. But you have 3 timeouts to work with, and to go 47 yards in 22 seconds, it's not the hardest thing you'd think.
Shaw Davis has to come off the field after that play, giving Nelson a little bit of time, and now we have a timeout called by Frenship.
We'll keep it here, and we're talking about the aggressiveness here on the offensive drive for Byron Nelson. I like it. I think they started the drive with just under 50 ticks to work with, and I think there's no reason, like Carter said, to start the drive to not go for it. No reason not to.
I was thinking about counterpointing Carter and saying, you know what? I'd probably take a knee right here. And it took about half a second to prove that I was wrong, because at least now they have an opportunity to put some points on the board here, even if it's a long field goal attempt.
Well, and when you see what Campbell can do on the other side of the field, you can't afford to kneel on the ball and just run this game out.
I don't know, Powers. I think you should have John Madden Super Bowl 36 that thing and just said, yeah, I think they should take a knee here. I don't think they should go for it at all, and then see what happens.
I retract the thought.
22 seconds to work with from the 47. Back out comes Almanza and company. It's a 2nd down and 10. And 3 timeouts in the back pocket of Zach Woodward. Almanza throws, caught, down to the 34, and what a catch it was from Gavin Tracer. Down to 18 seconds.
And this is where you see Byron Nelson having held all their timeouts till now. They call their first timeout. We're 18 seconds left until halftime.
And with 2 more timeouts to work with, I love the call to take a timeout there and kind of preserve those last 2. They're down to the 35 here, and with 18 seconds.
Field goal, that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for a play that sets me up with a field goal opportunity or a touchdown opportunity. I believe I got 3 plays left here, so this is a very important play in that string of plays.
And we mentioned that this game last year to open the 2024 Texas high school football season was a shootout, 48-46. Byron Nelson, who came into the game state ranked. This one a little bit lower scoring thus far, but it's been, we think, pretty entertaining. 18 seconds to work with. 13-7, the Bobcats lead. Trying to pad onto that here right now. Almanza and company from the 35. Rolling near side, Almanza evades pressure and just kind of tosses that one away to his own sideline, wisely so. It kills 6 seconds down to 12.
Hudson Page blew that play up. Made it to where Parker Almanza had to roll to his left, took his eyes off from down the field. There is a flag down. It'll be interesting to see what this is.
It's in the backfield. I don't think it was a late hit on the QB. Could there have been a late flag for holding? It is a personal foul.
Roughing the passer. That is a massive penalty right there on Frenship. Because it almost puts Byron Nelson in a field goal range.
And they have 12 seconds to work with here, so I think they're thinking about probably a shot to the end zone here in the next play or so. Again, they probably have 2 plays, max 3, like Power said. Perhaps not quite just into field goal range yet for Oliver Bell. And we'll see what Hunter Hughes, the OC, calls up here from the sideline. 1st and 10 from the 20. Almanza is going to take a shot, and that's tipped, caught, and it's a touchdown for Byron Nelson on the deflection. It's Gavin Tracer. Wow.
Sometimes you're good and sometimes you're lucky, and guess what? Either way, it's 7 points. That should have been an interception, and instead it is a touchdown for Byron Nelson. That's beautiful concentration on the tip drill there from Gavin Tracer. A couple big time catches he made on that drive, and now Byron Nelson threatening to go up 20-7.
3 touchdowns in about 2 minutes and 30 seconds here at the end of the first half, setting up a very entertaining second half, in my opinion.
Who said this was low scoring?
It was low scoring at one point, but those days are gone.
As the extra point here from Oliver Bell is knocked through, 20-7, Byron Nelson. 5 seconds to play, half number 1. The Bobcats lead by 13 after a 15-yard tip drill touchdown strike from Parker Almanza off the hands of a defender into the arms of Gavin Tracer.
Legacy, that isn't built in 4 quarters. It's how you change the game. Icons don't copy or imitate. They build and innovate. You can study the film. He's flipping the script. Milestones? Just the results of the work. Never the reason for it. He never chased stats, but the numbers do speak. And 1-5 says 1 of 1.
Hello, Candace.
Not you again.
Me again. Remember our last oil change? Your boyfriend said he knew a guy who knew a guy. None of those guys knew what they were doing, including you, Todd.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch our experts change your oil right from your car.
Thanks for coming in.
And finish in about 15 minutes. Valvoline. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
Oil change time, Candace. Remember when your boyfriend said he knew a guy who didn't know what he was doing?
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. No appointment needed for service you can see and experts you can trust.
Dave Campbell's Texan Live's Athlete of the Month, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, shines a spotlight on one outstanding female and one exceptional male athlete each month who exemplify excellence on and off the field. This prestigious recognition celebrates student athletes who demonstrate remarkable athletic performance, unwavering dedication to their teams, and a commitment to their communities. Congratulations to our December winners.
And so after the touchdown and the extra point from Byron Nelson, we had a timeout called prior to the ensuing kickoff by the Bobcats. Kick is now up and away. It's a squib kick. Picked up back inside the 20. And that will take us into the locker room. Your score at the halftime break here from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. Byron Nelson 20, Wolfforth Frenship 7. Guys, what did we see in the first half? What do you expect in the second?
Well, for Byron Nelson, I think offensive coordinator Hughes has done a tremendous job getting Parker Almanza comfortable in the game. And then for Wolfforth Frenship, you see Quade Ferris really started to settle in on that last touchdown drive by leading on Chase Campbell, who was absolutely electric to end the half.
You know what? The recruit Nick in me loves that both of the D1 recruits are popping off in this game. Parker Almanza is the star of the show under center now for the 2025 version of Byron Nelson. And Texas Tech fans should be plenty excited about what they saw out of Chase Campbell. At the end of that first half, his potential was starting to get realized, and that's why he's rated as one of the top prospects in the state and a 4-star.
Well, that'll do it for us here for the first half on Dave Campbell's Texan Live. Again, whether you're watching us on TexanLive.com or YouTube, we're back in about 25 minutes, 20-7, Byron Nelson at the break.
And he has started off once again in the second half, making plays all over the field.
He's putting all the fingerprints on this defense that he can. That was a good call to move him from wide receiver, I think. He's got a nose for the ball.
These coaches know what they're doing, it looks like.
So down to 10:05 here in the third quarter. It's 4th down and 6. Wolfforth Frenship set to go for it. Here's Chase Campbell. He actually looks to throw. He dumps it. It's caught. And down they go to the 26-yard line, well short of the line to gain. Turnover on downs as Hayden Wilson could not find the stick to gain.
And Matthew Stuckey once again read that play beautifully. The linebackers really showing out for Byron Nelson there. Campbell looked like he was looking deep on the flag route, instead trying to check it down, and they were all over it.
Fine Vailahi also coming out to the flats right there. I'm pretty impressed by what I see out of him. He's not the biggest dude on the field, but he's plenty athletic.
And he's only a sophomore, too. The fact that he's starting right now for Byron Nelson as a sophomore is pretty impressive, and you can only imagine how much bigger he will get. He's got the athleticism to boot.
Brings back out here the Byron Nelson Bobcat offense. 9:57 to play in the third. And here is Parker Almanza. Starting from the 26, Almanza out route near side, caught, hitting the sideline and ducking out there is Colin Janice. The junior wide receiver has had a couple big-time catches so far this evening.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Janice in that first half. You remember he caught the back shoulder ball and then also forced a pass interference, 2 big-time gains. Looking at his stats right here, only had 1 catch for 25 yards, but been making plays beyond the stat sheet too.
9:51 to go in the quarter, 2nd down and 3. Almanza under duress. He's wrapped up and buried back inside the 30-yard line. It's Lucero, the senior nose tackle.
Lucero has been very impressive. In the first half, had that 4th down stop where he absolutely took down Almanza behind the line of scrimmage, and then right there gets the sack. You see why he was the defensive lineman of the year last year for Wolfforth Frenship.
And that sets him back a couple yards here to a 3rd down and 8 now to the 28-yard line. Rolling to the near side, looking for a 1st down, finding one and plenty more just shy of midfield. That's a great run by Frank McCong.
I love the play call right there because I was thinking in my head before they snapped the ball, this is the first true passing situation. They were playing behind the sticks right there. I was interested to see what they dialed up. Great play call there as McCong was able to get to the corner and pick up a key 1st down to keep those chains moving.
8:50 and ticking down to play in the third. The Bobcats on the move, 4 yards shy of midfield to their own 46. Almanza hands it off. This is McCong, who makes his way into Frenship territory to the 48 for a gain of about 6.
Been very impressed with McCong and also Hill as a 1-2 punch.
Near side again, it's McCong who will extend forward. He's got a 1st down and a whole lot more. Flag is down back near the line of scrimmage at the 48. We'll see what we got here.
Wolfforth Frenship was late making a substitution. Byron Nelson hit him with a quick tempo, caught them off guard.
That was the first time I saw them miss 2 easy tackles, too. So McCong is starting to run with some confidence, and the ability for the offensive line to get some push is starting to make an impact on this game.
Penalties declined by Zach Woodward, the head coach for Byron Nelson, after the 1st down was picked up by Frank McCong. Just over 8 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Bobcats inside the Frenship 40-yard line. Almanza now looks to throw. Trying to evade pressure, he tucks and runs, and Almanza is wrapped up to the 36. Popped after a gain of 2.
Well, Byron Nelson's offensive line is starting to lean on Wolfforth Frenship in the run game, but in the pass game, Brandon Lucero is wreaking havoc. Lucero, the senior nose tackle, playing from the dead middle of that 3-4
front there for the Frenship defense. And now with 7:35 and ticking to play in the third, Byron Nelson faces a 2nd down and 8. In motion is McCong. Almanza gets out of the first tackle and he extends forward. He's got a 1st down, it looks like. Or maybe they mark him a little bit shy of the 1st down.
Carter made a good call out in the first half with the halfback swing pass and starting to stretch this Frenship defense out. And we're starting to see them have less men in the box, which should theoretically open up things for the Byron Nelson run game.
So as Almanza was marked just shy of the line to gain, it's going to be now 3rd down and less than a yard. Almanza hurries up under center, and he pushes forward for an easy 1st down. Needed a couple of feet, got 2 yards.
Byron Nelson's done that a couple of times now when it's a 3rd and short situation. They will line up in a huddle and immediately break and line up in that tush-push formation and try to catch Wolfforth Frenship off guard. Something to watch as this game goes along, especially if Byron Nelson keeps getting down in goal-to-go situations. They're looking to quick snap, quick huddle, and do a little bit of a quarterback sneak.
And it's not just a quarterback that's doing this either in that formation, in that, that play. It's a guy that's going to be playing tight end for Baylor next year. Not an easy guy to bring down whatsoever. Now it's a 1st and 10 for Almanza and crew from the 27 of Frenship. Almanza now looks to go to the air. Almanza stays on his feet somehow, and he's actually going to gain a couple yards out of this, just shy of the 25. Call it a pickup of 2 on a play that looked dead from nearly the start.
Made about 6 guys miss for a 2-yard gain. But hey, that's a great play as a quarterback, not because he made 6 guys miss, but he's avoiding negative plays, keeping his team in front of the chains. The negative plays are what's going to kill you as an offense. 2-yard gain, you can live with that all day.
Down we go to 5.5 minutes. Byron Nelson eating up a good portion of this 3rd quarter. 2nd and 8 from the 25. Almanza against the blitz, gets out of it. Almanza fires, caught. 1st down to Reed Williams, the junior.
Tremendous job there by Almanza to keep that play alive, getting out of that first wave of defenders, finding his man wide open right there, wide open.
There are some Division I athletes who play quarterback in high school because they are the best athlete on the field. Almanza will play tight end in college. He looks like he's been playing quarterback for the last 4 years for Byron Nelson.
And after Almanza found Reed Williams for a 1st down, it'll be a 1st and 10 into the red zone. Go the Bobcats to the 16. Timeout's going to be called here by Byron Nelson. .436 to go in the 3rd. The Bobcats use their first timeout of half number 2. As this game on Dave Campbell's Texan Live is brought to you by Higginbotham. Higginbotham is a proud sponsor of the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Most Driven Team Award. Learn more at texasfootball.com/most-driven-team. Also brought to you by Hometown Ticketing. Friday Night Football is here, and Hometown is trusted by thousands of schools across the nation to make game days effortless. Sell tickets online, easily scan them at the gate, track sales in real time, and keep your community connected with a free athletic website. Make every game a hometown game. Visit hometown.com to learn more.
No matter what happens here, this has been a tremendous job by Byron Nelson on a long, sustained drive, chewing up clock, protecting a 13-point lead with an opportunity to extend that lead out to 3 scores.
And most important, you keep Chase Campbell on the sidelines where he's harmless to you if he's on the bench and not playing. Once he gets on offense, it's when he's super dangerous.
To the timeout called by Byron Nelson, 1st and 10 from the 16. Almanza from the 16 fires. That skip shy of his intended target. Incomplete, looking for Janice.
That time the Frenship defensive front got some pressure on him. They were kind of sending a little bit of everybody, it looked like, right there to try to get him off of his rhythm, and it worked.
As Parker Almanza there got a little bit rushed. We haven't seen that much tonight, him getting hurried on some of these dropbacks, and that time he was, and the pass ultimately fell incomplete.
And it was a straight drop right there. It wasn't like a design play to get him out. They were letting him work out of the pocket.
Further signals come in from the Bobcat sideline. Here on a Week 1 Thursday night in Abilene. 2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Play is stopped, pre-snap. Delay of game.
Well, guys, I feel like we blinked and we're already at 4:31 left in the third quarter. It goes back to what Powers is talking about, just bleeding that clock with this long, sustained drive. But now sitting at 2nd and 15, getting behind the chains is not the spot you want to be at.
Pushes Byron Nelson back out onto the front door of the red zone. 21-yard line. Almanza, speed option, pitches it out. It's received by Cooper Kennemer, who makes a nice move. Down inside the 16-yard line. Mark him down near the 14. And a good gain there by Cooper Kennemer on the option. Pitch out from Almanza.
Reed Williams did a tremendous job out there blocking his defensive back, the cornerback, opening things up for that play to be very successful. Put his man straight into the turf.
Reed Williams, who had the catch earlier in this drive, was out there battling with Crashaw Davis, the senior corner.
Hey, if you block, you get the rock, and that's what Byron Nelson's wide receivers are following.
Down we go to 3:50, clock running here in the late stages of quarter number 3. 3rd down and 8 from the 14. Play action Almanza. Flushed, Almanza fires, incomplete. Taking a late hit as the throw was behind him was Owen Church.
And he had him open right there, and this brings up an interesting dilemma on 4th and 8. Do you try to go for the points? I think we're getting our answer as the field goal team runs out onto the field, but I think it's a questionable decision here. Not questionable from should you or should you not do it, but what would you do?
Well, especially because Byron Nelson missed an extra point earlier in this game.
And the first one was blocked, but it went through.
Ball snapped from the 14. It's going to be about a 31-yard field goal here for Oliver Bell, the senior. His first attempt on a field goal of the night. Bell's field goal on the way. It's perfect.
He was saving his best kick for money time right there.
Money time for Oliver Bell. Byron Nelson cashes in 23-7 Bobcats. 3:34 to play, quarter 3. As Byron Nelson extends their lead. Bobcats to kick it away when we return.
Dave Campbell's Texan Lives Athlete of the Month, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, shines a spotlight on one outstanding female and one exceptional male athlete each month who exemplify excellence on and off the field. This prestigious recognition celebrates student athletes who demonstrate remarkable athletic performance, unwavering dedication to their teams, and a commitment to their communities. Congratulations to our December winners, Cy Springs power forward Ayla McDowell and Silsby point guard Peyton Jones. To nominate your student athlete, scan the QR code on screen or visit texasfootball.com/athlete of the month. With support from Dick's Sporting Goods, we are proud to honor these young leaders who inspire their peers and represent the best of Texas high school sports.
.334 to play here in quarter number 3. Gavin Moritz here alongside my broadcast partners Carter Yates and Greg Powers. And guys, we talked about it a little bit during the break. If you're Wolfforth Frenship here, you got 3:34 left in the third. You're now down by 16. Got to have something here.
It's not panic time, but you need to have some sort of points.
Kick is up and away, angled away from Campbell. It is instead received by Gonzalez. And Gonzalez, a great return up to the 36-yard line. Sets up the Tigers with favorable field position, at least to start the drive. And we talked about earlier, Powers. I mean, they're kicking it away from Chase Campbell, and
no way
wisely so, yeah.
No way I kick it to Chase Campbell. I bet you he doesn't get any kicks all year.
Sure, he'd like to take at least one or two.
There might be some bold coaches who want to challenge certain guys. You see it every season. But I'm never kicking it to Chase Campbell. Never.
Going to have a bad time.
Yeah, it'd have to be total accident.
3:25 to go in the third. Back out comes Chase Campbell, Quade Ferris, and the Tiger O, starting from their own 36-yard line. Play fake. Ferris, middle, incomplete.
That was number 37, Tyson Diggs, the sophomore, breaking up the ball at the point of contact, playing, looks like nickel corner, slot corner right there, a sophomore making a big play. And Powers, if you're Wolfforth Frenship, what play are you trying to go to right here? 2nd down and 10, needing to get your quarterback some confidence.
Well, they're sneaking a safety over now, starting to more on Chase Campbell. They do have somebody lined up in the slot next to him, and they have plenty of options on the offensive side of the ball. I wouldn't be afraid to push the ball down the field to one of these other receivers because I think they can all make plays.
Well, now they're going to have to because number 42 right there,
that's our
Fine Vailahi.
That's our guy so far this game. He's been making tons of plays.
Yeah, he wrapped up Kadrick Price, who had literally nowhere to go, lost a couple yards there, lost 2 back to the 34 to bring up 3rd and 12. I believe that's the first carry of the night for Kadrick Price. Under 2:50 we go in the third, and now it's 3rd down and 12 for Wolfforth Frenship. They motion Hayden Wilson. Here's Quade Ferris all the way downfield. It is incomplete. He overshoots Zayd McClure to bring up a 4th down and way long.
Well, Ferris showing off the arm strength, and once again, he's getting knocked down as he throws the ball. So that the wide receiver was open, but Ferris felt the pressure coming in on his right side and just overshot him.
If he would have had a split second more, I think he would have dropped that in the bucket. But because of that pressure, he had to release the ball.
And now the Tigers here are going to be forced to, in all likelihood, punt it away with 2:34 to go in the third, 4th down and 12, trailing 23-7. Punt is angled towards the far side. It hops out near the 45. And Byron Nelson will take that all day long. They get the ball back, and they start a couple yards shy of midfield here.
I'm looking to do the same thing as I did the last drive. Let's see if we can get the run game going, bleed the clock a little bit, get us to the 4th quarter. Up 2 scores. In Texas high school football, 2 scores isn't a lot. Frenship's not out of this game. This is still a good game. And I think that they could make a run in the 4th quarter, but you can't surrender any points on this drive.
If Byron Nelson takes the ball into the 4th quarter, that's a win on this drive. And there's 2:27 left.
Byron Nelson here starts from their own 45. Parker Almanza dumps it. Caught, that's Hill. Shifty move along the first tackler, and he's up to midfield for a good gain of about 4 or 5.
Yeah, Hill's been really impressive, the junior. Remember, he had that touchdown in the first half where he showed great vision, cut back to the right side, and scored. He's also been a threat out of the backfield, too, as a pass catcher.
And we've seen Byron Nelson now mix in 3 different running backs between McCong, Kinnemer, and Hill. And Parker Almanza here, he saw the Wolfforth Frenship defense start to go to the sideline. He was like, hey, what are we doing? We're trying to snap the ball here. Under 2:10 to go in the third. And Byron Nelson not in any particular hurry. Under 2 we go. Almanza now on 2nd down. Will try to tuck and run. He's going essentially nowhere. Back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
Noah Lopez once again on the tackle. Sniffed that QB draw out perfectly. Been very impressed with Lopez at the Mike linebacker. He's playing like a 3-year starter for this team right now. Very experienced player. He'll be a weapon for them all year on defense.
And if you can believe it, we're already down to about 1:20 to play in this third quarter. Byron Nelson has controlled almost all of what has been the second half so far. Here now facing a 3rd down and 5. Almanza, another quick dump off. This one going to Hill, who's going to be slung down for a loss. Man, Wolfforth Frenship was all over that one. That's Jack Pollard, the senior.
And that is such a difficult tackle to make in the open field, especially on a guy as slippery as Hill.
No doubt about it, and this is the play that Pollard's been trying to make on that swing pass all night. He was finally able to get out there and get him behind the line of scrimmage. The last two Frenship defensive plays, awesome.
So the Tigers are set to get the ball back with time for maybe a couple plays here before we head to the fourth, with Byron Nelson facing a 4th and 7, set to boot it away. Almanza, a bit of a rugby-style kick. And wisely so, Frenship will call out Peter. No one's touching it, and it rolls down inside the 11-yard line.
Well, Almanza plays quarterback. He's going to play tight end in college. He kicks a punt down to the 11-yard line. What can't this man do?
He got the perfect roll out of that. I was thinking that they shouldn't pick it up, and that's probably the right call because you could fumble the ball, but they didn't expect that roll, I think, whenever that ball checked up.
Find ourselves with 19 seconds to play in the third. As this game is brought to you once more by Panini America, a proud partner of the NFL and college football. Whether you're looking for trading cards of the hottest rookies like Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty, young stars like Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, and Jeremiah Smith, or must-have superstars like Patrick Mahomes and CeeDee Lamb, PaniniAmerica.net is your destination. So time for maybe one or two more plays here in the third, and Wolfforth Frenship will start from their own 11. 89 yards to the end zone. Here is Chase Campbell out of the gun. Throws, caught, and getting brought down a couple yards shy of the 20 there. Goes McClure, and that should take us to the fourth. Final seconds of the third quarter trickle away. We have played 3 complete quarters here in Abilene. 23-7, Byron Nelson. 12 minutes to play in regulation when we come back.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, if your back hurts, you should be able to get the care you need. So you can get in, get out, and get back out there. Like fast.
Well, that is kind of my thing.
It's not complicated. Scheduling's easy on the MyBSW Health app.
Find somebody do it like me.
Sir.
Back here to open up the fourth quarter here from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. 23-7, Byron Nelson. If you're Wolfforth Frenship here, you got to get something going in a hurry. You got 12 minutes. You're down 16. Still a 2-score game, but you're pinned back to your own 17-yard line. As Braden Dunkerson will get up for a couple of yards to bring up third down and short.
That was Campbell Blair. Looks like a defensive end crashing down on the line of scrimmage, making a tackle near the line of scrimmage, setting up a third and short. This is a critical third and short for Wolfforth Frenship. You need a long, sustained drive here or a quick score. You cannot have a 3 and out.
11.5 to play. Looks like we're going to get Chase Campbell and Braden Dunkerson lined up in the gun here for the Tigers. Campbell, design, quarterback run all the way, and he's running nowhere. He loses 2 or 3 back to the 16. The exact opposite of what they needed, and it's going to bring up fourth down and long.
Outside of the 2-minute drive where they were moving at a fast tempo, Byron Nelson has clamped down what is one of the most impressive offenses in all of Texas high school football. This is a statement right now that this defense is making.
Yeah, this is a team in Wolfforth Frenship that as the punt here is up and away, it's going to be Taking a great bounce. Flags are down back near the 40. It's a Wolfforth Frenship offense, guys. 3 consecutive playoff appearances. Like we said, prolific passing. They have averaged 45 points per game in that stretch, winning 28 games, losing just 8. Of course, last year, Holden Phillips, who's now at Texas Tech, he graduated. Over 4,400 passing yards, 57 touchdowns. So this is an offense that's used to throwing the ball and throwing it a lot. And like Powers said, Byron Nelson, for the most part, has kept him in check.
Well, I think you're also seeing how much they're hurting by not having Leighton Stone because, yes, Campbell had 1,400 yards, but Stone had Stone, and Stone had 29 touchdowns last year. So a big thing in this game is who was going to be the wide receiver 2 to Chase Campbell's wide receiver 1, and I don't know if they found that today. And maybe that's because the wide receivers aren't getting the opportunities to show their skills, and part of that is because Quade Ferris is under pressure all day, which is a credit to Byron Nelson's defense.
They're just solid. You know, I had a head coach in college tell me one time, if you line up 2 inches to the right or 2 inches to the left, that you're out of position. Well, Byron Nelson's guys always seem to be in the right position at the right times.
And again, you take away the one, just like we called it a couple times, a signature Chase Campbell drive. This is, in all likelihood here, a shutout being pitched by the Byron Nelson defense. It's 23-7, but the Bobcats, since that probably early second quarter, you kind of felt like they've been in control the whole way, and they here sit with a 16-point lead with 10:41 to play. From the 29 stands Almanza. Counterplay, handoff near side. It's a great run down inside the 20 to Frank McCong.
That halfback delayed counter is so nasty. I mean, that entire Wolfforth Frenship defense was going for the sweep by Almanza because of that quarterback run he's had all night, and then he sneaks around the backside with McCong.
Down to the 18 they go, 1st and 10. Almanza, they tell him to slow down a little bit here. Eat some more clock with 10:15 to play. In the red zone sit the Bobcats. Almanza, end zone, incomplete off the right hand and the fingertips of the sophomore Hawkins.
Carter, I believe that was your guy again, Krishawn Davis, on the coverage. He has played a heck of a ball game.
Been a lot of fun to watch him go up against Hawkins, and Hawkins is a special athlete himself, already with a North Texas offer. A guy that Byron Nelson coaches have known about for a long time since he was a 3rd grader coming to Little League camp, and now he's getting to play on the biggest stage.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10 yards to go from the 18 for the Bobcats. Here is Frank McCong, couple of stiff arms. We'll see McCong brought down near the 16-yard line, a gain of a couple. Inside of 9 minutes and 50 seconds we go. And you kind of get the feeling here that Byron Nelson trying to take their time, trying to punch it in or at least get a field goal. Stretch this out to a 3-possession lead and maybe put it out of reach with about 9 minutes to play or so.
Oh, if there's a touchdown here, this game is all intents and purposes over, so Wolfforth Frenship needs to hold. Find it within themselves. I know it's hot out there on the field.
Down we go to 9:25. They will face a 3rd and 8, will the Byron Nelson offense. Another delayed counter here. This one going to Frank McCong again. McCong stretches forward, and he's going to have the 1st down, it appears, to the 9.
That 4-yard burst from McCong is super impressive. Once he gets past the line of scrimmage and kicks it into, I would call it the hot gear, that dude's got some giddy-up.
It's 4th down and 2. They're going to mark him a couple yards shy. I believe they said he went down before he kind of extended out at the end of that play. And he was down, right at the 10, so it's going to be 4th and 2.
A big-time decision here from Woodward. This is signaling we want to end the game right here.
8:40 left. And Byron Nelson going forward on 4th and 2. Almanza's going to throw. It's caught. And waltzing into the end zone is Frank McCong for a touchdown.
Just a terrific play call there from the offensive coordinator, Hughes, because all night on 3rd and 4th and short, you've seen Almanza running, whether it's a QB sneak, a quarterback power. Instead, they throw the halfback screen, totally catches the defense off guard, and now it's almost 30-7.
I almost feel like I'm a conservative play caller in my mind now, because both times I thought I'd go conservative, I was dead wrong, and that was a great play call. I think the coaches knew what they were going to dial up on that one.
As Bell knocks it through 30-7, it is Byron Nelson. 8:28 left to play after the touchdown dump off from Almanza to Frank McCong. Byron Nelson leads by 23.
Yo, these KDs are fire. Bro, you work here?
Whatever, kid. Take notes. Yo, I can guard pro in these.
I can guard you and route you up.
You sure about that?
Not anymore.
Fellas looking for a quarterback?
The goal!
Billy needs cleats. You're right, Billy. These do bring out my eyes.
Every shoe for every athlete, only at Dick's.
Dick's is the GOAT.
Introducing Elite Source Evaluators, your source for evaluating top athletes. We identify, rank, and project top high school players and provide insight and exposure that helps players stand out in the recruiting process. Get ready for the 2026 ESE Gridiron Showcase. This invite-only event brings together the top high school.
We find ourselves with 8:28 left to play here in Abilene. Kickoff is up and away from Byron Nelson, angled towards the sideline. And it's scooped up at the goal line by Wolfforth Frenship. Oh, disaster on the return. And a little bit of confusion there out of the return man for the Tigers. That was Noah Gonzalez, who probably thought that one was going to first hop out of bounds, then hop into the end zone, and I don't know that it did either.
Well, you've seen Frenship do this multiple times on kickoff returns. They're letting the ball go over their head, roll into the end zone, but this kickoff was way shorter, so they tried the same strategy, let it roll, but as it's going towards the return man, he almost instinctively puts his hand out. That's why he had to go run back to the end zone and grab the ball, because that's a live football.
And now the Tigers find themselves after the live ball situation off the hand of Gonzalez, pinned back at the 7. Brings back out Quade Ferris, standing back near his own goal line. From the 7, near side, caught, spinning out of the initial tackle, hopping out across the 15 is Zayden McClure.
Nice little comeback route, get out of bounds. Great job by McClure there. Let's see if that sparks something.
They move up to the 11-yard line now. It's going to bring up a second down here, or the 16 rather, second down and a couple. They motion Hayden Wilson. Ferris hit as he throws. That ball is out. And they finally say it's an incomplete pass. They say his arm was going forward. No call at first as Byron Nelson tried to swarm to the ball on the ground.
And if you're a Byron Nelson fan, you have to be really happy about that pressure right there, because I'm telling you, Chase Campbell was wide open. Down the middle of the field, it would have been a touchdown.
But it's been a theme of this game where there's guys running down the field and Ferris can't find them in time before the pass rush gets to him. And that looked like it was number 48, Javian Austin, the senior, making a whale of a play to perhaps save a touchdown there, like you're talking about, Powers.
8:08 remaining here in the ball game, at least regulation. It'll be from the 11-yard or from the 16-yard line. A third down and short. They run it far side and close to the line to gain. They're going to, looks like initially mark him short. And now they give it to him first down. We're going to see Chase Campbell here at quarterback once again. Dunkerson offset to his left. They stretch it out here going far side. And they move it up near the 25-yard line. A good gain there for Wolfforth Frenship with 7.5 to play. And guys, do we like the jet action? They're still running the football here.
Well, they tried to take a deep shot, and they almost put the ball on the turf. So I understand why Coach Northcutt wants to get some positive plays to stay ahead of the chains. But you're right, Gavin. I mean, the clock is ticking right now, and Wolfforth Frenship is running out of time.
Second down here at about 4. Campbell dumps it incomplete, threw it way too far out in front of the feet of his intended target. He was looking for Hayden Wilson.
I want to bring up a good point, I think, here with Chase Campbell going under center for a few plays. It's not a bad idea to give him an extended look there if you can. I know Quade Ferris is back on the field now, but what does this offense look like with Chase Campbell under center, and how much do you want to utilize that as you approach the district opener, right? Because these non-district games, they're not really going to matter for playoff purposes, so you got to get your team right before district play opens.
They motion Wilson. Here's Ferris. Pumping a couple times. Now he's under duress. Ferris somehow gets out of it. Quade Ferris still on his feet. He fires. It is caught by Chase Campbell. As Ferris there got out of trouble for what felt like forever. And I believe they're going to say that was incomplete.
Out of bounds.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting point you bring up, Powers, because Chase Campbell was a quarterback all growing up, was offered by Joey McGuire at Texas Tech as an 8th grader, as an athlete. He switched to wide receiver because Wolfforth Frenship had a bunch of quarterbacks. So you know he has that experience.
By no intents and purposes am I calling for a QB change or something like that by that statement. What I'm trying to say there is that they have a game plan in place for Chase Campbell to be under center, right? And they're already going to operate that a certain percentage of plays throughout the game. I think a good thing to walk away from this game, especially looking at some of the other playmakers who can make plays, is how much do you want to use him as the QB?
Because the issue when you put him at quarterback is you don't have him at wide receiver.
Right.
And that's tough.
Brings back out now the Byron Nelson offense. They'll start from their own 46, 6:44 left. And here, if you're the Bobcats, if you're Almanza and company, you're not in any hurry of any kind. You're just trying to eat the rest of this clock up, at least most of it, and head on into week 2 at Louisville next Thursday with a win, as they gain a yard or 2 on the first play of the new drive.
And it looks like Byron Nelson is in complete bleed the clock mode because we got the backup Charlie Medrano, who actually, in his one play in the first half, they scored.
Yeah, that's true.
But he is back in right now. You know, the senior has a really good command of the offense.
He's 1 for 2 right now. They've scored on half of the plays that he's received the snap.
He's batting .500. 6:10 here left to play. Second down and 9 from the 47. Medrano dropped the snap. He's going to try to run with it, goes nowhere, loses a yard, back to the original line of scrimmage to bring up 3rd down and 10. Frenship here calls their first time out of half, number 2.
And if Byron Nelson's going to sit on the rock, bleed the clock, that's what you got to do as Frenship. You just got to use all your timeouts right now.
Yeah, I'd rather be in control. I agree with that 100%. If you can get the ball back, then you can kind of control the action. You're going to have to get a couple of onside kicks likely anyway to extend this game and stay in it. So I don't see a problem at all with using your timeouts right now. I think it's a good coaching decision.
And that's always the debate that we feel like people have, right? At least coaches, is like, you have your timeouts. You have maybe 5 or 6 minutes here in this case. You have all 3 timeouts. Do you want the time or do you want the timeouts? And I agree with you guys. I think you take the timeouts here and you give yourself as much time as possible to score and get multiple possessions in, especially when you're down 23. I feel like most people would agree.
Yeah, they need 3 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions. That's how the math works out there. And I think, in the analytics era of football, you have to start discussing of when the best time is, if you can score, to go for 2.
3rd and 10 here from their own 46 where the drive started. Bat snap again to Medrano, and he's slung down back to the 31. Disaster from the start, and Wolfforth Frenship here is going to get, in all likelihood, the ball back with about 5 minutes to play.
And it looks like Frenship not electing to use a timeout right here. They'll get the ball back with just under 5 minutes to go. And they'll have way better field position now after that sack.
as Almanza ready to receive the snap on the punt back to the 20-yard line. High kick angled towards the Wolfforth Frenship sideline, hops out somewhere near the 45. They give it midfield right on the dot. So 5:02 left. The Tigers will get, at the very least here, another possession out of it, trailing by 23. Here in what sits is a 3-score Byron Nelson lead. So stay tuned at the end of this ball game for our Elite Source Elevators Player of the Game. One player from the winning team will be awarded our first Player of the Game award of the young 2025 Texas high school football season. Got a couple candidates in mind, I think, but we won't give them away just yet. And if you're Wolfforth Frenship here, guys, you got to hurry. You got to score, you'd think, at least within the next probably minute and a half. Bad snap. Ferris, far side, incomplete.
There's Rodney Weatherspoon on the coverage there. Outside of a few plays at the end of that first half, he has played a tremendous ball game. Of course, we mentioned off the top about Mohamedou CBA not being able to play in this game, one of their D1 recruits that plays cornerback, and Weatherspoon has filled that role admirably and done a tremendous job, showing that he can come downhill and tackle against the run and can play tight coverage down the field. Having a 1-2 punch out there on the island, having an option on either side of the field, being able to take out two top options at wide receiver is going to be something that Byron Nelson's defense can hang their hat on.
They're going to send Chase Campbell from up top down low in the new formation here.
They do expect Sibby back next week, by the way, guys. So that'll be good for them moving forward as they play Louisville.
Worth noting as they swing it out here to Chase Campbell, trying to lean forward for the first down. I think he comes up about a yard or two shy. He does to the 42. Needed the 40, and fourth down upcoming for Wolfforth Frenship.
Do you go for it here, guys?
Yeah, I think there's a little question here, Carter.
The question here is, what do you run?
Yeah, you know, they haven't been able to establish much of a run game at all. Looking forward, I want to see if my offensive line has what it takes to open up a hole and get a first down that I need to execute on.
Byron Nelson perhaps expecting the run. Frenship does run it, and they're going to have a first down with Dunkerson. Down we go to 3.5 minutes.
And if you're Byron Nelson, you're plenty fine with this. As the clock ticks on down, if Wolfforth Frenship's going to keep running it, you'll gladly just keep them in front of you and let this game bleed out.
Ferris now looks to go to the air. Fires downfield, off the hand it goes, incomplete of Gilliam.
Just over 3 minutes left to play here in this one. What do you think, Carter, building to the future here for both of these squads? Taking a look at Frenship, what they have going on, and taking a look at Byron Nelson. They both play in good districts. Are there some positive things here for Frenship, and what are your thoughts on Byron Nelson?
Well, I think if you're Frenship, yes, the scoreboard did not come out in your favor, but there are a lot of plays that are very close to being touchdowns, and this being an entirely different game. We saw it just right there, case in point. That could be a touchdown pass. It's just a little bit out of reach. Or Chase Campbell's running wide open down the field, and Ferris is hit as he's trying to throw. So this offense is not far away from turning back into that explosive Wolfforth Frenship offense. And then if I'm Byron Nelson, man, I just love Rodney Weatherspoon and what he has been able to do in this game. And bringing back Sibby, who's a Wake Forest commit next week, your team is going to be so much stronger because of it. I feel like this Byron Nelson defense has played gap sound. They can really build off this performance. And a Byron Nelson team, we came into the year with a lot of questions, like what is Parker Almanza going to look like at quarterback coming from tight end? What's this defense going to look like replacing a lot of starters? You're starting to answer them in week one. I think it's been a great game for them.
They've had some emergent players, Byron Nelson, in this game that I've been impressed with. Colt Pride.
Yes, Ferris is going to tuck and run.
Ferris using his wheels. The defensive lineman, number 42, is a really good player. I think that on the offensive side of the ball, the offensive line has played a really sound game. They didn't make any huge critical errors. But the thing that I like most, if I'm Byron Nelson, is that we didn't turn the ball over that much. I think they had one turnover in this game. They protected the football, and with this offense, they're going to need a lot of that this season.
It'll now be a 3rd down and 7 here for Frenship. From the 34-yard line of Byron Nelson, 2:25 left to play. Bad snap. Trying to scoop it up is Ferris. Byron Nelson football.
That's number 6, Matthew Stuckey, again on the fumble recovery. He's really come alive in the second half along with Colt Pride. Those linebacker rotations for Byron Nelson have been money.
That's the things I'm looking at. Even the running back has really emerged throughout the course of this game, getting better. McCong just seems to have a little bit of go juice. I like that. I like his explosive short bursts. He's able to pick up chunk yardage. He wasn't able to break off the big one, but I think plenty of those are coming.
As Byron Nelson all but set to move on to a date at Louisville against the Fighting Farmers next Thursday, 1-0 to start the season. Wolfforth Frenship a date at Wichita Falls Memorial next Friday. Near side, it's a great run to start the new drive for Byron Nelson, hammered out of bounds near the 45. With a 1st down and plenty more on the carry is Ren Sailors, the senior. And down we go to about 2 minutes. Clock continues to run.
Fire up the band and fire up the bus. This one's all but wrapped up.
As down we go to the 2-minute warning, it'll be a 1st and 10 from the 47 of Wolfforth Frenship for Byron Nelson. We'll keep it here, guys. And we talked about this game last year was a shootout, obviously different from year to year. Last year essentially doesn't mean a whole lot as far as the result of this game is concerned. It was 48-46. This one not as close, 30-7. But obviously a lot of turnover there in the offseason for both teams, especially you feel like Wolfforth Frenship.
Yes, Wolfforth Frenship had to replace a lot of production. Leighton Stone with 29 receiving touchdowns last year, 1,400 yards. Holden Phillips, who led all of Class 6A last year in passing. You knew this wasn't going to be just a one game and they figure it out. When you lose guys of that magnitude, it takes a couple of games. That's what non-district's for.
This, of course, a great non-district matchup to start the year, and you kind of feel like as, if you're a head coach, this is the only way to get better is to schedule tough opponents in non-district, as they say.
Powers, I'm curious what you think about a future tight end at Baylor playing quarterback. Does that actually help him develop as a football player, or would you rather see him stick at his same position to play in college?
No, I like him playing quarterback and doing some different things, because the one key thing that I think that's going to be integral to his success at the next level is having a high football IQ. He plays a position in H-back/tight end at the next level that is going to count on him to understand his blocking assignments, and not only who he's blocking, but the technique in which he's blocking them with. He's also shown that he's athletic enough to take something underneath and turn it into a bigger gain. I really like the Jared Wiley comparison that you made earlier. They're not only similarly built, they now have a similar high school football story, and we all know that that worked out for him really well. I thought that was a really strong call out by you, Carter, and I think it was a good comparison. And playing quarterback's only going to enhance his profile to me. Moving to college, I love it.
46 seconds and ticking down left to play. Another snap of the football should just about do it. 3rd down and 11 for Byron Nelson, who's about to move on to 1-0, a date with the Fighting Farmers of Louisville next Thursday. And Wolfforth Frenship will start the 2025 Texas high school football season 0-1 at Wichita Falls Memorial later next week. With that last snap of the football, that should just about wind down the rest of the clock, as Byron Nelson's going to win this game 30-7 here in a neutral site game, Shotwell Stadium in Abilene. As we open up the year here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, guys, one last thing to do. We got our Elite Source Elevators player of the game. Take it away.
Powers?
I mean, I think that we should bestow the post-game honor on Parker Almanza, who had a tremendous game, scoring with multiple touchdowns in this contest and eclipsing. I mean, he was the star of the show, right? Could it be anybody else?
I don't think so. I mean, you could talk about the defensive guys, Rodney Weatherspoon and Colt Pride. Yes, they had fantastic games, but I think one of the biggest question marks for Byron Nelson was, could that explosive offense stay the same by moving Parker Almanza from tight end to quarterback? And they answered a lot of questions tonight. I thought he was surgical with the ball. I thought he showed great leadership skills. And yes, he is a very deserving player of the game.
There you have it, Parker Almanza, our Elite Source Elevators player of the game. Here on Dave Campbell's Texan Live, I want to thank you. This is a special production. We had a great broadcast booth. We stream this game on TexanLive.com, whether you watch us there or on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. I want to thank our entire crew tonight. From a broadcast perspective, Carter Yates, Greg Powers, Mallory Hartley, Greg Tepper, Ashley Pickle. And signing off here from Shotwell Stadium in Abilene, I'm Gavin Moritz saying thank you, stay safe, and good night, everyone. Your final score, Byron Nelson 30, Wolfforth Frenship 7 to open up the 2025 Texas high school football season.